the woman picked up the last bead from the Buddhist rosary that her husband had dropped on the ground. This time, she chose to leave forever. Then, the woman dragged her suitcase and followed her husband out of the house. But this time, their directions were no longer the same. Looking at the jar full of Buddhist beads in her hand, the woman couldn't help but recall the scene when she gave the rosary to him. She told her husband that if he made her angry, he would have to return one bead to her, and added that if he returned all of them, she would leave him forever. The woman originally wanted to use these beads to warn her husband, but she never expected that he would take advantage of them. Every time he didn't want to accompany her, he would throw out one bead. Even when the woman was sick and weak, the man just threw down a bead and turned around to leave, leaving the woman alone to grieve. Looking at the beads in her hand, the woman poured them all onto the ground, then angrily smashed the jar to the floor, along with all the grievances she had endured over the years. In the 3 years of marriage to her husband, the woman had played the role of a docile wife, giving endlessly to her husband without bottom lines, only to end up with such a result. So she didn't want to pretend anymore. The woman called a former colleague, saying she wanted to take on cases again, and return to being Vivian, the queen of criminal cases who once dominated the legal world. She decided to divorce her husband. It was for the sake of marriage that she had chosen to retire. And even her husband, who was also a lawyer, didn't know she was Vivian. That night, the sleeping woman was woken up by her husband to pick him up. As soon as she reached the outside of the private room, she heard her husband say that he liked independent and self-reliant women. Like the scheming woman, the woman was just a housewife. At that moment, someone asked her husband why he had married the woman. This reminded the woman of the time when she had helped a client win a divorce lawsuit, and the client's husband, holding a grudge, had tried to strangle her. Fortunately, at the critical moment, the man, who wasn't her husband yet, had stepped in to save her. From then on, the woman had fallen in love with him. Later, when the man got drunk after being, it was the woman who found him. By a twist of fate, they had an intimate encounter. Afterwards, the man said he would take responsibility, but the woman needed to give up her career and come to work as his life assistant. Inside the private room, the man was still boasting that the woman would never leave him, no matter what he did. Hearing this, the woman let out a self-deprecating laugh. After composing herself, she took the drunk man away, then took the opportunity to get him to sign the divorce agreement. Now, as long as they got through the 1-month divorce cooling-off period and obtained the divorce certificate, both of them would be free. But unexpectedly, the next day, the scheming woman came to the door. She said she had been domestically abused, needed help with a divorce lawsuit, and begged the man to take her case. The man agreed immediately, but the scheming woman's case was notoriously a dead end. What's more, the man specialized in criminal cases. Taking this sure-to-lose case would break his myth of a 100% success rate and lower his prestige. However, the man insisted on taking it, and even humbled himself to ask his arch-rival Vivian for advice. Little did he know that Vivian was his despised